version. All right. I'm recording now. So let's look at what I'm kind of asking. And I'm sorry, as usual, I made it a little bit wordy. You can see Destiny turned in something there, but it's not what I wanted. We'll talk to her later about that. All right. So so one of them is get a sticker from last year. Some of you guys already kind of did this, right? And we're going to reprint it. But remember, it also has to be good quality, right? We talked about it that last time we talked about this, right? And we can do a reprint of it, right? To see if we can sell it. Okay. I already talked to Ms. Gobert, our business agent, and we are able to do it. Except technically the material we have in stock right now, we can't use that because that was bought with funds from our CTE department. So I'm already putting an order in for some material. And how many of you guys got to do, did we do a t-shirt last year? Yeah, right. And some of you guys never got them done, or we ran out of the material, or it cut wrong. So technically we can actually order some new material this semester, and we can order it like as soon as next week. And that way we can do that and maybe do some more t-shirts. Or I was thinking also some tote bags. You guys seen the little tote bags you can buy like at Walmart? Do something like that. And then we can do some more of those. Okay. So the second one is you're going to create a sticker using only type. I know Miles asked me earlier, can we put a picture? Let's try to keep this one type. All right. Again, you can always redo one of the ones from last year or a previous one and add some text to it. But this one, we're going to try and keep it all type. Okay. So I don't know if I put it in here. What I would like for you to do is, and I'll put that on a separate one, come up with a saying. For example, has anybody ever seen, let me open up my Illustrator. And there's a lot of sayings that we use, right? Has everyone seen this one? I'm going to do a new file. Let's keep it to 8.5 by 11. All right. And I want you to find a saying. And if I didn't put that in there, I'll put it on there. Easy. Easy peasy. What have you guys heard? Easy peasy what? Lemon squeezy? Oops. Is it just one Z? Yeah. All right. So there's that one. And then the one I'm going to work on today is going to be kind of funny because it's a play on some of the fonts. Like we're going to be learning about the fonts, like I told you this semester, right? I did post a thing on Schoology where it was like a little handout, and we're going to be going over that more and more. You're going to learn which ones are serif fonts, sans serif, display, right? There's all different kinds of fonts, all right? Now, this is going to be funny, and you might have seen it already outside. Go, and I'm going to do these separate. I want everybody to watch. I'm going to do these separate. Oops, no stretching. Sorry. So again, you're going to choose your own and notice how I'm separating these. Now, these are all caps, and I haven't chosen my fonts yet. And did anybody see this one outside? So if you don't know this, there's a font named Helvetica. Anybody seen it? No? Anybody know? So this is a play on words. No? Not funny? Anybody? Huh? Did you see it outside? Did anybody look at it? No? Nobody saw it? Or how about let's do one in Spanish. Has anyone heard this one? No? Anyone? No one? What? Oh, there. All right. Should I do that one? Okay. And even those of you guys who don't speak Spanish, like, oh, why are they doing it in Spanish? Again, you can change it up. If you know any other language, right? There's obviously sayings that you can do in other languages. So I want some kind of saying. Maybe it's something your grandma tells you. Maybe it's something you tell your friends. Maybe it's a meme. I don't know, but you're gonna do that, right? You're gonna find something. So I'm gonna show you guys what I'm gonna start out with, right? So I'm gonna pair some fonts, right? I'm gonna download some. Let's go to the internet. And again, all of you in here should know how to download a font, right? I taught free fonts. Cool. Let's go to the font, or is that the one that's blocked? No, it's not. There's one of them that's blocked. Ooh, I kind of like this one right off the bat. Paris Stewa. I'm gonna download that one. Oh wow, look at that. That's beautiful. Chiro. Let's download that one. So these are all serif fonts, the ones I just downloaded. It looks like, let's look for sans serif, and we go here. You can actually choose sans serif. That means there's nothing on the edges of the letters, right? Like little fancy things. Oh, there's Cool Vetica. Ooh, look at that. Anybody know Akira, the anime? Yeah, I kind of like this one. I might do that one. I like Akira, and I'm gonna download a few more than what I'm asking. Ooh, designer looks good. I like that one. Okay, I downloaded those about 5. Let's go to my downloads. And remember, they come in all zipped. Designer. I'm gonna make a note of that because my brain is old. And I don't know about you guys, but I try to write them down or take a screenshot because once you're an illustrator, uh, you can't remember what they were unless it was like just one. At least that happens to me. So I got Akira. And remember, what you're actually installing are the OTF or TTF, not any JPEGs or anything. All right, so make sure you're doing that OTF or TTF, open typeface, true typeface. Yeah, it says TTF. That's the actual font. What do you guys think? That says Cheeto or Cairo? Anyone? No? Are you guys awake?
No.
Why not? It's like we've never done a lesson before. And then we've got Paris Dewa. Really? Are you guys thinking about the big fat juicy Whataburger you're gonna get after school? Oh, you're killing me. I'm gonna get a double. But since I'm low carb, I'm gonna throw away the bun. All right, so I downloaded those. I think I have 4. All right, so I always like to leave the originals kind of like around here. And then I'm gonna make a quick copy. And again, we're kind of trying and pair these. So one of them is called Designer. Forgot to select it. There we go. Oh, that's not bad. And then this one, I'm gonna pair it with one of the serif ones, which is Cairo or Cheeto. Cairo. Oh, why is it not there? Let me see what happened. Why is it not here? Thought I installed it. Oh wow, I forgot about it. Okay. Here we go. Cairo. There it is. So I've got a sans serif and a serif. Now I can tell you already one of them stronger than the other. So let's do this. And then I'm gonna do Akira for the top one. and Peristewa for the bottom one. Oh, wow, that was difficult. Okay. All right, so looking at these top two, what do you guys think? Is one very much stronger than the other? Yeah, right, the top one. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a copy, and now I'm gonna flip these around as far as the top one, I'm gonna make it this Peristewa font. Watch, eyedropper. If you guys didn't know this, I think you should know. But if I select a line of type and I use the eyedropper and I click on another live font, it changes it to that. Did anybody know this one? All right. So just so you know, it actually not only will it copy a color, right? Because if I click white, it'll make it white, but it'll copy the font, right? So the eyedropper also copies font information. All right. So that's an interesting combo. I think I can make the top one work. All right. So I'm going to do this. This is what we started off with. And I'm going to move these out of the way. Cool. I'm going to try and pair these two. All right. So the first thing we're going to do is, everybody watching? I try to make sure I have two copies, and one of them, now not all fonts that you get for free have both upper and lowercase. But I didn't know if you knew this, but also you can go to type and you can select lowercase, sentence case, title case, or uppercase. And in this case, that sounded kind of funny. In this case, uppercase, no? All right. There's no real big difference. All you can see is that the height of the lowercase is just a little shorter. And this is what we call cap height, right? Everything that's the height. So that one didn't change much. Now, where you can see sometimes differences is on a lowercase like the D. This one is not any different. So whoever designed this font only did pretty much capital height letters. All right. So I'm going to stick with that. I don't want the lowercase. Now this one, let's see if they have lowercase. So I go to type, change case, lowercase. And there is a lowercase on this one. All right. So this one has lowercase. This is the Cairo or Cheeto. All right. So I'm going to try and do it. Let's see. So once I have these, I'd like to make a copy, throw them out over here on the side. And these I'm going to outline. Shift Command what to outline a font? Anybody? Hello? How do we outline a font? Shift Command what? Oh my goodness. Thank you. All right. So now they're outlined, right? And if I do the Command Y, I see that these are still live fonts and these are not. Command Y is toggle between yes and no. Now, what I did forget was I wanted a question mark because I'm going to use them. And I don't know if you guys are aware, in Spanish, do we have punctuation on both ends of a sentence? Yeah, so I'm gonna rotate that one upside down at the beginning, right? Just to make it correct and legit. All right. Now I haven't outlined the question marks. Let me do that. Shift Command O. Now you are allowed to manipulate the fonts in some way where you're not stretching them. And what do I mean by that? Watch, I'm gonna ungroup the como. Everybody watching? Here's my O. Now what you are allowed to do, everybody looking, if I wanted to manipulate this O, I can scale it. I cannot stretch it, but can I, everybody watching? Can I get my direct select arrow and select half and maybe make it a little bit taller? Yes, I could do that. Okay. Could I, if I wanted to, make a copy and take out what we call the hollow or the bowl inside, right? Everybody see that? And I took the center out of it, right? And could I do something else where I brought another shape inside? It could be a simple circle. Let me do the circle. I did that earlier. What if I did this and I draw a circle? And instead of it having this kind of parallelogram in there, I select the circle and I do my Pathfinder. and I do a minus front. Cool. So now I've now manipulated that font a little bit, right? And I cut a circle in it. And then is there something stopping me from maybe drawing another circle? And I don't know how this is going to look. I've never done this to this poor O here. I'm using the option. And then I do that and I do it again. So now I've cut out other parts. I don't know if that's going to work, right? Once it's together. All right. But I'm just trying to show you can manipulate some of this stuff. All right. So the other part I'm going to do is let's scale this. And one of the first tricks I showed you guys last year was scaling the first and the last character on a word, right? And we can do, you can also add shapes and bars, right? And then very simply, I could literally draw a rectangle, and this kind of is what we call a bar, and it kind of sometimes will make stuff feel like it's sitting on something, right? Or I could put it all the way across. And those of you guys who have my OSA sticker, this is exactly how I did it. Now I can use my direct select arrow and extend this, right? And then you can use your guides too to make this exactly like where it is. And then don't forget with your direct select arrow, could I manipulate this bar by clicking on just one point? Yeah. And then I go like this. I'm counting them, 7. And then I do it to this one. So it's kind of parallel, right? And I'm kind of manipulating that. Now, what if I get this O? And I'm going to change this color so you can see it. And again, I'm just manipulating. I'm not even thinking about it. I'm just trying my best here. I'm going to bring this to the front. Now, this is the part people forget. And I'm recording this so you'll have it. People forget this part. This is what we call the nestling, and they don't ever try this. And I really want you guys to try it. I'm going to want to see you do this. So on this particular O, we're going to create a stroke on it. And I'm going to make it a different color so you can see it. I'm going to make it, I don't know, purple. All right. And then I'm going to increase the stroke. And the reason you do this is to create larger negative spaces that are going to cut into other shapes or other characters. And when I say characters, I just mean other letters, right? Oh, I messed up here. I should have copied it first. Sorry. All right, right here. Always do that first. Command C, copy your letter. All right. I'm sorry. Watch this. So I copied it before I added a stroke or did anything. So now I'm going to add a stroke. Now I increase the stroke. Now notice, remember, a stroke is only color on each side of the line, right? And if I do a Command Y, it still looks like it's just a thin line, right? Our points, our path, but the color extends inside and outside, right? That's why you can't do this and expect just the outside to be a stroke, right? Like when you're trying to put like an effect on an individual character. But if you notice, I made it to where it kind of cuts into the red. You guys see it right here, right? But the very next step, if I don't do this, now I go to Object. And some of you guys remember this, very few of you guys, Path, and you outline the stroke. This means that the stroke is now an actual outer shape. Check it out, Command Y. Before it was just one stroke in the middle. So by doing this, I've literally expanded the character, right? And then I select whatever I'm cutting it out of. And you know what? I'm going to make this a little thicker, about like that. And I select both, and I do my Pathfinder. And I do a minus front. So I cut that larger stroked O into the little red bar. And remember how we copied it at the beginning? I just bring it back, Command F. It was still in my memory, and we end up with this nice kind of contour cutout. If you don't do this technique, you will not get this shape, all right? It just won't happen the same way. And what's cool about it is the more you move it away, you can create a bigger negative space that still obviously conforms to the shape of the character, right? So I could have it very tight and close or very far away, and it's still visually working for me, right? There's a connection to this bar. All right, now I'm gonna do it to this one real quick. I'm gonna lower this. Oops. And remember, also I want at some point some characters and letters overlapping. It's okay. Some of you guys maybe don't like to do that, but that's the whole point of this exercise, of this assignment, to do a typographic sticker. All right, same technique. I increase that. I tell it stroke. I'm gonna make this one blue so you can see it. I'm increasing the stroke. I go to object. I think I copied it. Path, outline stroke, select both, minus front. And I guess I did not copy it. Hold on. Thought I did. It was right here. Copy. Stroke. And again, I know a lot of you guys really haven't put much effort, and maybe I didn't force you guys to do this much last school year, but to be really good at type and typography and fonts, you have to really kind of push the edge a little bit, try a little bit harder to manipulate those fonts, try to pair them better, try to make them overlap, use the Pathfinder and the shape tool too. On the next one, I'll show you, you can do some shape tool stuff too. So again, it's just what level of manipulation of some fonts can you do? And you should be able to do this. And then object, path, that's the one, outline stroke. Then you select both, minus front, Command F, and then you see how it kind of works, right? This is one of the strengths of Illustrator. All right, so I'm gonna move these out of the way. Again, I'm not saying this is perfect. And I kind of like some of the lowercase, but let's see. So now I'm going to ungroup this one. Oops. And I'm going to increase the size of the F and the S, right? No stretching, just scaling. And I know people are gonna say, well, they're overlapping, you can't really read it. No, well, that's the whole point, right? So I'm gonna copy this. Let's see if this works. And remember, this is a serif, right? These little things are serifs. Can you, if you wanted to, make this F taller? Not stretching it, but only selecting part of this. This is what we call the descender. And we'll be going over all the parts, right? That handout I gave you guys. We need to learn at minimum those things, all right? So that's the F, right? Let's go back. Now, some people say that F is really a very fine serif font. How are you going to make it be as strong as this other font that's a sans serif almost display? Well, watch this. I'm going to copy the F, same technique, right? Copy the F, Command C. I'm going to increase the stroke. And in this case, I'm going to make it, I guess we'll do red too. It's very easy to see it. And I'm going to increase it crazy. Check it out. Oh, it's not in front. I need it to be in front. Shift Command bracket right. And you can see how I increase the stroke a lot, right? Same technique. Path, outline stroke. Select the C and the F, minus front. And look at how I cut that out real nice, right? There's no other program that can do this. And then I repaste in front my F, all right? And that's how you get these cool visual things. All right, now this is found in all types of packaging and design, right? And there's people that specialize in typographic logos, right? So I'm gonna bring out a guide. And again, it's just an exercise in your skills in Illustrator, and you're trying to figure out how to do typography, right? So watch this one. It's going to overlap not only the bar, but the O, right? So I'm going to make it another color so we can see it. Same technique. I'm almost there. Let's do a blue. Oops, I didn't choose it. Same technique. Cool. And then I increase the stroke. I can make it another color so you can see it. Increase that stroke. Cool. And then we go back to object, path, outline stroke. So now here's the tricky part. Because I did not copy it. Hold on. I did not copy it. Copy. All right, there it is. Sorry. Now I expand it. I mean, outline the stroke. Okay, now this I'm gonna. You don't normally do this, but I'm gonna make a copy of this outline path one because I'm gonna use it for both of these. Watch. So I select the O minus front, and then I bring this one and I line it up, and I use it for the red bar. So I made an extra copy. And then I bring back my S. So you can see how it helped me cut through two things, right? Otherwise, I would have had to copy and paste the one with the outline path, and that would not have worked. Okay. And now I'm not gonna take too much longer, but I could do this and then just scale this, right? I'm not gonna manipulate all those, but you could if you wanted to. And this is all I'm asking for. All right. And then in this case, we have double punctuations because it's in Spanish. And I could do this. I'm not going to manipulate those much, but you get the idea. This is what I want to see that you can do. All right. Again, you got to get away from just typing a word in a font and say, oh, that font's cool. No, we got to take it to another level a little bit. All right. And again, we can do some bars. I'm just experimenting here, right? Is that too close? Could we do a thin line? Could you do dots? I don't know. Check this out. This is the last thing I'll do. But I want everybody to experiment with this. I want you guys to be able to manipulate fonts this easy. Could I do dots? Sometimes we can have, the word I was looking for earlier was separator, right? It can be a separator. These things can act as things that unite them. And again, they're just visual elements. Let me hide everything. And again, look at what we started with. We started with the default font, right? Again, I'm not saying this is perfect, right? Again, you're going to come up with a saying. Now, these, could I increase the stroke a little bit? Yeah. Maybe they need to be a little heavier. Oh, that's actually not bad. Actually, that works. And everybody watching over here. Oh, I just saw something that I could do. Watch this. So, you know how I put these dots up here? It didn't make sense at first, but what if I made this dot on this upside down question mark, the actual dots? I think that's going to work. Do that. That's not bad. All right. So you get the idea, right? And then almost like a Star Wars logo, could you add some framing to help out your sticker? Of course. Everybody watching, look at this part, right? Could we do a nice frame? Could we increase the stroke? Could you go and find the Star Wars logo and manipulate this to look like it? I'm sure you guys have seen people that do that stuff, right? And they make it look like something totally different, right? You could call that fan art, I guess. Oh, and then here's a one that you guys don't know about that I don't think I've ever shown this class. So this one, if I wanted to make it more parallel, I could go to object and transform. And there's one called shear, and you can actually tell it. This is if you ever find a font that's not italic, right? Slanted, and you want to make it, all you go is here and you tell it, typically they're 12 to 15 degrees. And look at how that went sideways.
Just a friendly reminder that our Toddy Bell will ring at 1:05. So make sure that you're there to let the students in a little bit before the Toddy Bell.
No.
Before the Toddy Bell, because some students are there ready to go into the classroom. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to see Ms. Williams this afternoon. So please make sure that the rooms are available for the students to go in prior to the Toddy Bell. Thank you.
That means some teacher wasn't opening their door. All right. That wasn't me. All right. So anyway, I don't know if you guys are looking at this, but I just did a very quick, what we call like a racetrack or a parallelogram, right? I did that shear. And you can use your align to align these. Command G. All right. And could have sworn. Oh, here's one that I did a long time ago. Everybody looking real quick. I don't know if you guys have seen this sticker. I designed it a while back. So this one, they're not touching as much, but I use just that one Distant Galaxy font. But see, I even stacking them. This is not a good example of them cutting through each other, but you see how I kind of made it. I made it different, right? I did not just find one font and type it, right? And I put it inside of a graphic element like a racetrack type shape. All right. Now, is this award-winning design? No, but again, the whole idea is play around with the fonts, manipulate them, right? And there's nothing wrong with switching out, right? If you want to experiment with that, switch out some fonts with a shape, right? For example, like I said, this one, if you were to take out the hollow, right? And say you put a little star, I don't know. That's just what came to mind. You guys looking? Can you do stuff like this? Sure. I don't know if that adds anything to it or makes people think of something else, right? By adding another element like a star. Now, I didn't cut those out, but obviously they're white, right? Cool. Everybody understand what we're trying to do? Yes? No? Everyone? And again, can you make it funny? Sure. I'm trying to look for my Helvetica one. Oh, and the last thing, sorry, is you can use special characters. I forgot to tell you that. What I mean by that, everybody get on their keyboard here, and sometimes you can, and just like when you're doing memes and stuff like that or emojis, can you use brackets and then rotate them, right? Everybody's kind of done this before, right? Remember the original emojis? They started off as just characters, like say a V. And can I rotate that? Remember, we're not stretching stuff, right? Could you do stuff like this and reflect it? Oh, sorry. And could I scale this? Right? Be creative. Could I do a Poland? you can do stuff like this too. Check it out. I'm gonna do a Frida Kahlo unibrow on this one. No, not funny. No, anybody know who Frida Kahlo is? No, nobody knows who Frida Kahlo is. All right, so look, I'm doing a unibrow. No, not funny. Jeez, man, you guys are a tough crowd today. All right, so you get the idea, yes? Oh, look, I just saw something. Looks like a mustache. All right, so that's pretty much what I need from you guys. And you might do one and it might not look 100% right, but I want some kind of saying, some kind of oh, you know which one no one's done in a while? You know how you guys started with your no cap? No? Anyone? No? Wow. That's only been around a few years, no? When did that start? Huh? No? All right. Okay, so everyone understands what I need? Make a sticker like that. Let me find my Helvetica. I'll just leave you with the Helvetica. Huh. Maybe I didn't do it on here. No. I guess I didn't. All right, I'll post that one. It was the one I was starting off. It said, go to Helvetica, not what you think. All right. This one it was here. So okay. All right. Any questions? What we want? No? Yes? You guys are good?